This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, teachers. Thank you for joining us today to talk for a few minutes about the new Junior Achievement Remote Classroom experience. We are excited to be able to offer you a few different options in sharing the Junior Achievement lessons with your students. My name is Brittany Romney. I'm the Director of In-Class Programs here at Junior Achievement of Utah. If you haven't experienced Junior Achievement before, we focus on a few things: financial literacy, work and career readiness, and entrepreneurship. And our goal is simply to inspire and prepare young people to have a successful future. In order to access the lessons, the first thing you want to do is review your JA session guide. So you will find that at the website learn.ja.org. You should have received an email with your JA username, which is just your email address. And then it provides you with that link and prompts you to go in and change your password. However, sometimes if you have been a teacher with us in the past and you are already in the system doesn't trigger an email that is sent out to you. If that's the case and you didn't receive any notifications, please just go to learn.ja.org and scroll all the way to the bottom. There you'll find a link that says forgot password, and you can reset your password and then go in to access the lessons. So when you visit learn.ja.org, you'll see a login page, and you'll click right here where it says educators, students, and volunteers. From there, it will take you to the JA Connect Learning platform. Under My JA Courses, and the menu programs, if you click on the down arrow, you should see your class, and it generally will have some sort of a description with your last name, the name of the program, your grade level, and your school. When you click on that, it will take you to the JA Remote Classroom menu, and there are a few different things that you'll use this menu for. The first is to access your guide. So over here on the left, under Program Overview and Resources, you'll click there, and it will take you, it's usually the second option, and this is for JA Our Region, which is the 4th grade program. So if you're teaching a different grade besides 4th grade, it will simply have a different title, but the menus look the same. And you'll click on JA Our Region Guide for Volunteers and Teachers. It will bring up a screen that looks like this, and it looks like a play button for a video. It's not a video, it's simply just to open up the document for your guide. So if you click there, it will take you to a different tab, and it has a couple different options. The first is you can simply click on the website address, and that will open up the digital guide for you. However, a lot of our teachers and or volunteers like to have it on a separate device. That way, when they are teaching, if they're teaching virtually and they're screen sharing the lesson, they can screen share on their computer, but then they can open up either a tablet or their phone or an iPad, something like that, that has the guide to the lessons. So they can kind of look at the guide as they're sharing their lesson screen with the students. So if I were to click on the link to the guide, it will then take me to the virtual guide for each lesson of the 5 or 6 lessons that you're teaching. Over on the left-hand side, there's a Welcome to Junior Achievement, and there are a couple sections that you want to review before teaching. So there's the Before You Begin and the Virtual Preparation Suggestions. Now, these are geared a little more towards volunteers that aren't already used to managing a classroom and working with students on a day-to-day basis, but there are some really helpful hints in presenting the JA lessons virtually, so you'll still want to just take a couple of minutes to review that. One thing to note is that the pre and post program surveys, or the pre-tests and the post-tests that are in the JA content, are not required unless your sponsor specifically requests them, whoever is sponsoring the JA program at your school. So if you want to use those, you can, but it's totally your preference. Most of our teachers simply share the lessons with their students, and they don't worry about the pre and post program surveys. Now, back to the guide. After you've reviewed those first couple of sections, you're going to go down to the Facilitation Instructions. These are the step-by-step instructions on how you're going to present the slides. And the great thing about these is they contain screenshots of each slide that you are sharing with your students. So I like to have it, and it helps kind of guide me along as I'm teaching the lesson, just to make sure that I'm staying on track with what the students are seeing on the screen. All right, if you get out of your guide and you go back to the remote classroom menu, you'll also see in each session, so right now we're in session 1, there are some student materials. So sometimes they're just a flyer, a worksheet, some kind of an activity that they can do at home. But you're going to open those up, and before you teach your students a lesson, you will share that with them. So if they're in the classroom and they're logging on devices, you can share that. You can pull those up and print them off if they're in the classroom. But if they're home and they're beaming in, or you're connecting via Zoom or GoToMeeting, then you'll simply just email that or share that link with your students, and then they can pull it up and download it on their device and fill that out as you are teaching the lesson to them. So the same type of thing, you'll click on the play button and it will open up the student materials. This is actually one of the slides in your lesson, and it reminds the students, do you have your activity sheet, and make sure you download it and name it and save it on your computer or your device. The next thing, and probably the most important thing, is the actual lesson. So you will again go under whatever session you're teaching, and it will always be described as on-screen presentation. And in smaller letters, you'll see interactive learning resource. So that is the full set of slides, similar to a PowerPoint that you're going to be teaching. So you'll click on that lesson, and it will just open up a set of slides. And you'll simply just click through the slides like you would on a PowerPoint lesson. Some of them are interactive, where you can kind of play a game and tap on different things. A lot of them have key terms, so you can click on the key term card and it will bring up the definition. Sometimes there are even videos that are embedded, 2 to 3 minute video clips that you can play and share with your students as you're teaching the lesson. If you have any questions about how to access any of the lesson material, if you're having trouble with your login, if you would rather have some printed materials, if you're sharing them with your students in person, please contact me. I'm here to help you. You can email me, call, or text. That's my cell phone number. No question is too small. And we are just so grateful that you're supporting junior achievement and that we are able to still stay connected with the students in your classroom. For your information, one of the really great things is last year in Utah, we were able to serve 104,000 students. For students who had an outside volunteer, somebody coming into their classroom, we also found in our latest JAUSA alumni study that 51%, so more than half of students, chose the same career field as their volunteer. So if their volunteer was in the finance industry, half of those students also chose a profession in the finance industry, which just goes to show how great it is and how much of an effect volunteers can have in the classroom. We also had nearly 6,000 volunteers last year. Finally, I just want to thank you. We appreciate your help. We are so grateful for quality teachers who are serving our students, and we are here to help in any way possible. Thanks so much.